This is the new Mini S from Boosted Boards. Boosted kept some of the best features from their flagship Boosted line of boards and fit them on a smaller deck. Boosted not only made the board smaller, but also the price, bringing it down to $750. While it's still a lot for an electric skateboard, it's half the price of their electric longboard priced at $1,400. Today we're going to give you a detailed and comprehensive review of this new mini electric skateboard. First, let's see what you get in the box. The board, a box of accessories, including the remote, charger, as well as a couple stickers and a skate tool. You also get an owner's manual and getting started guide. The remote is the same exact one from previous versions. This remote design is tried and tested. Hands down the best and safest electric skateboard remote on the market. This is important because it's how you accelerate and brake with the board. Taking a close look at the board, it's 29 inches long, wider than a normal skateboard, and has a deep dish top. Basically, the sides are angled up, which is supposed to help keep your feet on the board, and where the edges are to help with turns. The new wheels are 80mm and custom made by Boosted, and engineered specifically to be used on a small electric board of this size. There are two brushless motors that are belt driven on each rear wheel, putting out 1,000 watts of total power. We also noticed the motors are more quiet than the previous motors on the Boosted Dual Plus. Even the trucks are upgraded and reinforced, since they are getting a lot more impact from rough terrain and a stiffer deck. The board also features a kicktail, which is very functional and helps with pivoting while riding or kicking the board up to carry. The bottom of the deck has a tail protector, and we already found out this comes in handy from the first couple rides on this board. The battery on the Mini S is a standard range, which Boosted advertises can go 7 miles. We already know that this is not the case in real life, and we did a range test later in this video to find out. Removing the battery, we need to get 6 screws out using a 4mm Allen wrench, or an electric screwdriver. You remove the battery by twisting it sideways and lifting it out. Under the battery, there's a plug to disconnect it. There's also another accessory cable, which goes under the front truck for future accessories such as front lights. If you're wondering if the extended range battery fits on a Mini S, the answer is no. The battery is too big. However, if you connect it to the board, it does power on and function. Another great feature is the app. You can track your rides, see your odometer, trip, range, and even change your ride modes. Boosted has an Apple Watch app that allows you to quickly see your battery life and current speed of the wheels. One thing we don't love is the weight, and the Mini S still feels surprisingly heavy. It's 15 pounds, only 2 pounds lighter than the much larger Boosted Plus. For portability, it's definitely easier to carry than the Boosted Plus due to the smaller deck. For rides, we put the Boosted Mini through a wide range of tests. First, we started with an acceleration test compared to the Boosted Dual Plus. It's not as quick as the Plus, but it still has a good amount of torque and pickup. Next, we tested brakes and we found a fairly noticeable difference. The Mini takes longer to brake compared to the Plus while riding it at full speed, which is 18 miles per hour on the Mini and 22 miles per hour on the Plus. This is important to note, especially if you plan on riding around full speed in the city. Next, we tested it on rough terrain, riding over bumps, cracks, and potholes. The board can definitely hold up and can handle it without making you feel uncomfortable. However, you can definitely feel the rattles in your feet and legs a lot more than the longboard. We even tested it over train tracks. While the Mini S is able to handle it, you definitely feel it in your feet, while the longboard is able to absorb a lot more of the impact from the flex of the board. For carving, you feel in control of the board, especially as you practice and get comfortable over time. You're able to do quick turns, and we also loosened up the trucks in order to get a more carvy ride. One of our favorite parts of the board is being able to hop off curbs. This can be done by maintaining speed and keeping the tail slightly lifted while riding off the curb. You can also manual on the board, or try to hold a power manual, but this one takes a little bit more practice as we learned. Kick pushing is definitely possible on the Boosted Mini, but you do get some drag due to the rear wheel motors and belts. Kick pushing to start is actually a great way to conserve battery life and get a lot more range. Speaking of range, we did a full test to see how many miles we could get. We rode it in expert mode around at top speed most of the time, with some stop and go as well as a hill climb test we did a few times, which the board can handle without a problem. By the end of the ride, we had 6 miles on the trip, which is about 1 mile short of the advertised range. Overall, we think that the Boosted Mini S is a great electric skateboard for both a beginner or someone who's looking for a smaller and more nimble electric board. 18 miles per hour is plenty of speed, while it's also easy to carry or take on a crowded train. If you plan on traveling by plane, the Boosted S has a standard range battery that can be brought on a carry-on, while the battery of the Mini X cannot. For those of you who are experienced boosted riders thinking about a second board, we recommend considering the Mini X. After riding the S for a few days, we already feel as though we could use some extra power and range. Alright everyone, that's it for now. Let us know in the comments what you think. In the next video, we'll be showing you some of the best accessories for the Boosted Mini. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll see it first.